Hi Stephanie, it's Wayne Simmons here. I'm going to reply to your video, how I became pro-life, and I'm actually pro-life as well, but I'm also pro-choice. How's that? How's that for confusion? Actually, I believe philosophically, and this is an argument philosophically, I know that the two positions have been laid out, culturally. There's the pro-choice movement, the pro-life movement, and you were once pro-choice, and due to your Christianity, you've moved closer to the pro, or now adopted a very hard-line position as a pro-lifer. Okay, so let me explain why I call my position pro-life. And it's not just for shock value, or not for just, I think there's a true philosophical reason why my position is pro-life. Now, it's actually rooted in Aristotle's argument of potential versus actual, or potential and actuality, or what is potential, what is actual. And he applied that in this sort of way. And so I'm going to draw some analogies from nature and apply that to the fetus and the human. An acorn, we can say, is a potentialized oak tree. And conversely, we can say that the oak tree is an actualized acorn. We can see this as well in the caterpillar. A caterpillar is a potentialized butterfly, and a butterfly is an actualized caterpillar, right? And so we can do this with the fetus and the human. The fetus is a potentialized human, and the human is an actualized fetus, right? And so I mean, this and how so potentialized is really just the process of becoming something else, right? So it is potential, and there's some quantity or some change of state or metamorphosis that goes on. And so when we discuss the whole idea of the right of a woman, versus the right of the fetus, and I think the right to give rights to fetus doesn't make any sense, and is kind of incoherent, because let's look at what a fetus is and what we could really define as life. I mean, when we say life begins at conception, this is the argument, right? That life begins at conception. Well, that's what's said. Now, when does life really begin? I would argue that life really begins with the actual the development of the brain, and I'd argue consciousness is dependent on the brain. It's an emergent. It's a causal emergent property within the brain. For more on that, I would suggest John Searle's writings on the topic. But it is a causal emergent property within the brain that creates consciousness. And so our whole notion of life is based on consciousness, on our conscious awareness of things around us. Well, to get back to pregnancy and all of that, the womb, inside the womb, the brain of the fetus is developed around the 24th week. Really, that's, it's around it's in the second trimester, right? And so most abortions, by the way, do actually happen within the first 2 trimesters. So really the vast majority of abortions are not in the 3rd trimester. So, and that's even a very good time for a woman to have an abortion, because it's not really viable. It's not really physically a good idea for a woman to abort at that point in time. And most abortions will take place in the first 2 trimesters. So what we're talking about is a fetus which doesn't have a developed brain, and so has obviously no conscious awareness, and it's a cluster of nerve endings. There's no nerves there to create pain, and so this thing isn't really feeling any pain. So it really gets to the heart of what is a human being, right? what can we define as our humanness? What distinguishing characteristic sets us apart from the other animals in the animal kingdom? And I would say it's rationality, right? It's conception, it's the ability to be able to reason and such, and to be able to develop on that level. And so I think that the whole idea of a right, is to be able to do things. And I believe that there's an ontological base for rights, I would argue, and this is something that has it's rooted historically, through Locke's, the works of Locke and others, is rationality, right? So reason is the foundation for our ability to make choices and are the source really of rights. And so you have a right to do something so long as you do not interfere with the rights of others, meaning you can plan your life long range. Because you can think conceptually, you can plan long range, and you need to be free from the coercion of others to be able to pursue those things. So free from coercion, free from the initiation of physical force from others. And you deal with others based on consent. That's the foundation of law in Western society. It's been perverted for a number of other reasons I have no time to go into right now. But your position, your ethical position, is based on a self-sacrificial idea, sort of this idea that rights are really you don't get into rights, but I got a feeling that you base those on other things, not on rationality. And there's ethical implications to the perspective you hold. You discussed the conjoined twin issue, and again, that's one issue. There's so many other issues I want to talk about, but I want to make this a 28-minute video. I would say that the problem with the conjoined twin issue is that if we've both never been in that position, and I'm sure that both that the two conjoined twins, and the ones that are sentient and rational, somehow develop a way of adapting to their condition, their state, and develop some enjoyment in life. But I do believe that there's something about being autonomous. There's something about you being a person as a human being and be able to do things on your own and think on your own and have that freedom to do stuff. I mean, that's psychologically healthy, and that's really you could be free to make your own decisions and live your life on your own. And I think you've done that. We all want to do that. That's what I want to do. I think that's what we want to do. We want that for others. But for you to say that a conjoined twin that is now attached to a mentally unfit human being, like mentally retarded or developmentally challenged, however you want to phrase it, but that human being is obviously holding the other human being back. It's a horrible dilemma, and I would not want to be in that position myself, because I'm sure I would have feelings for my conjoined twin. But I do think that there wouldn't be anything immoral or wrong about basically going through the operation and allowing the one that's the most fit to live. And I think there would be something ethically wrong for doing the exact reverse, what you were suggesting. There's a lot of ethical implications I'd like to discuss with you in future videos about your position, and you tend to really rail against selfishness. But those of us who are anti-feminist have reasons why we oppose feminism based on its link to socialism. It's linked to Marxism, to cultural Marxism, and the whole idea of gynocentrism and all of that is a really collectivist, altruistic, ethical position. And your position is really their position, and but in a different form. I'm going to discuss that in future videos. Thank you very much for helping me get back into creating videos and resurrecting my channel. Cheers to you, and I look forward to more videos replying to you in the future. Take care. Cheers.